Today we have this piece of wood. I'm not entirely certain what it is. It might be sycamore. It looks kind of soft and punky like sycamore can get. It does have that nice heartwood in there. This comes to us from my good friend, I think. Well, she's my good friend, Valerie. I think it comes from Valerie. I've had it a while. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as we like to say here at Shady Acres Woodshop. Howdy. Let's take a closer look at it. The piece currently is about 13 inches across the widest point, about 7 inches across the narrowest point. It's about 4 inches thick. I'm going to trim it up. I wanted to turn it that way, but if I did that, you can see I would turn that heartwood away. So I'm going to turn it this side up. But I am going to trim up these two long pieces out here. I'm actually probably going to make a round bowl. You'll have this round around here and probably on this end as well. You'll have the nice heartwood showing in all three places as well. So that'll give us a little something. The grain in here should be interesting. So we're just going to make a bowl here in the middle. So let me go over to the bandsaw. I'll trim up these ends. I will drill a hole for a woodworm screw. We'll get it mounted up on the lathe and get to turning. Well, now that I've cut it, it's I'd say it's more some kind of juniper. It smells kind of sweet. It's much harder than I thought it was, and I don't see any punkiness now. So it must have just been maybe the way it was cut or the way it weathered or whatever. Anyway, we're going to be turning at 450 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. And I'm going to go sharpen up. I did not sharpen before I started because it felt sharp, but it doesn't anymore. Well, it's getting there. It is tough wood. Much tougher than I would have guessed. Wonder if I have any advantage to going this way maybe. Okay, well, it's round, maybe as round as it's going to get. Sure, it's tearing up though, but we're not done. So now I'm going to come down and work on this corner. I'm guessing that's got silica in it or something. It's dull again, but I'm getting just what I thought I might as far as a beginning shape. I'm going to go sharpen up, and I picked the speed up to 650. Well, I can't deal with that. I'm going to flatten off the bottom. Well, so far it's not beautiful. I probably should go sharpen again. I assume those are bug holes, but I haven't seen any bugs. Wow, it's just tearing up, isn't it? I'm gonna go sharpen again. I'd love to get a clean cut here pretty soon. See if I can pick the speed up any. About 720. A little bit better. I think speed will be my friend if we ever get to pick it up. Guess I'll cut that off and start over. I kind of like the two flat sides if nobody minds too much about that. Maybe not quite as flat as they are, but similar. This will look really nice all sanded up and with a finish on it. Nice contrast with the rest. Well, I feel like I still need to go up a little higher, get a little wider bottom on here. Starting to see that heartwood come through, huh? That's a good thing. I'll come back to that. I'm going to work on this corner just because I get bored staying in one spot too long. I'm going to go sharpen again. I'm looking at that crack. Might not be a good thing. And now we're getting somewhere, getting a little smoother cut. I'm just seeing if that wants to split apart. Doesn't seem to, but maybe I'll put CA in there just for a little insurance because it does come clear to here. I'll be back. I put CA in quite a few cracks around there. Now I want to blend this top in with the side. We'll round this over here, and then we'll move back down to the bottom, put a tenon on there probably. I turned up past the vibration. It vibrated all the way from 7 to about 1,000, and I'm up around 1100 RPM now. 5/8" bowl gouge, still with mask and face shield on. Well, I'm going to come down to the bottom and finish that up, and then we'll come back over here. It might just need scraping. I'll mark out for a tenon. And I'm going to use this diamond point tool to square up the sides of the tenon. And that's good. And we don't really need a base quite that wide. So we'll take some of that away and finish up this side profile. This is some very disagreeable wood, I can tell you. It's not easy to work. Way harder than I thought it was. I'm going to try shear scraping this a little. Okay, well, what do you know? I didn't think we were ever going to get there for a while there. I want to get rid of this and I want to clean up this. And then we can't forget to put the dimple back in there. Alright, I'm pretty dang happy with that now. I know it looks a little ragged here and there. It won't. I really like these natural sides. They're going to clean up real nice and shine up good with some kind of finish. So, time for sanding. I'm going to start sanding with my Sandoflex. This is 120 grit. I'm going to sand all of the unturned parts here and along the top. There's some pretty raggedy edges up here. That's why I'm starting with 120. And then I'll go to 180 and stop there. That's as fine as I'll go with the Sandoflex. When I'm done with that, I'll switch to my 2/8 disc starting at 80 grit and working up through 400. I'll have the lathe spinning in reverse for that at 350 RPM. And I'll show you what this looks like as soon as I get my mask on. And I'll be doing more of that, but that's generally what it looks like. And you know, I clean up everything before I start sanding because I use my air compressor quite a bit, blowing off dust and whatnot. And in cleaning up, once I got rid of all the wood chips, there was this fine, fine sand. So this either grew where there was sand, or maybe it was driftwood or something. I don't know, but it's from a beach or near a beach or really sandy soil. It was nasty. That's why my gouge needed sharpening so often. So I'll be working at that for a while. Like I said, up through 400. I'll bring you back here in a bit and we'll put something on there. Probably sanding sealer. See you in a bit. Well, sanding went pretty well. Sanded up very nicely. Smooth as silk. Amazing. Because this is just a very hard wood. Angry. Mad at me wood. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. It's going to take a lot of brushing on this. Oh, and this is sanding sealer, shellac-based sanding sealer. Looks like I'll put on 2 coats of this and 2 coats of shellac. I think it's going to look pretty nice. I just love these cracks in here, these natural cracks. Looks like somebody put them in there on purpose. I might go to carbide on the inside just to save all that sharpening. Holy cow, that was a lot. Probably a couple times that I didn't mention to you. I'm really glad I left these little natural areas here where there's still a little bit of bark. Okay, well that's kind of what it's going to look like. Like I said, another coat of this, 2 coats of shellac. I'll bring you back and we'll start working on the inside. And that'll be tomorrow. Have a great evening. It's a rainy day here in Bonnie Lake. Maybe you can hear the raindrops on the roof. We're going to be turning at 1200 RPM, 5/8 inch bowl gouge, mask and face shield on. Something just split off of there. Right here, I guess. Hit my finger. Well, I really don't want the sides that thick, but you can see maybe that's just about straight up and down. I'm going to thin it down anyway, somehow or another. Well, that's an improvement. It's starting to dip here, but that's okay. This wood is really brittle. That's why that broke out of here. Doesn't really hurt much. Well, I might have to go sharpen up. That depression is right here. See if I can get inside of it. Well, the depression gives us about a ½ an inch right now. But there's a hole in it as well, and I can't quite get down in that hole because it's a slot this way, and that won't get in there. So I'm guessing we're probably going to have a hole in the side here if I go much further at all. I'm going to shear scrape the side here, clean up my cuts a little bit before we get rid of the center. Let's see if I can get in there any better now. I don't think so. No. Oh, yeah, you can see it right there. Just starting to come through. Well, it's not through. Still got a little bit of ways. Oh boy, there's a crack in there, huh? I put CA in that from the outside, and it feels good on the outside. I'm gonna stop and put some CA in there right now before I go any further. I don't want this to come apart on me yet. Well, I put the CA in there and it's dry now, so now I have to scrape it again. I don't have any center support anymore, so I have to be really careful because it gets to wobbling out here at a high speed with nothing in the middle to hold it together. We'll make it work. And I sharpened up again. That cleaned up pretty good. Where were we? About a ½ an inch. Okay, I think that's gonna do it. Time for sanding. I have the lathe spinning forward and reverse at 360 RPM. I'm starting at 80 grit and working up through 400. I'll bring you back here in a little bit and we'll put some sanding sealer in there. See you in a bit. Well, I pushed this to the max as far as coming through the side. I can see light through right there. So that's as thin as we could go. That crotch figure's coming through real nice, isn't it? Got one here, here, and here. Nice color. Wish I knew what the wood was for sure. And the inside turned way easier than the outside did. It still had its problems, but I only sharpened twice, I think, on the inside and about 6 times on the outside. Okay, that's the first of 2 coats of sanding sealer, and then 2 coats of shellac, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit and we'll take the tenon off. Hope you like it so far. See you in a bit. I mounted a block of wood up in my chuck. It has a non-slip surface on it, but because it doesn't rest all the way on the bottom, I don't want these edges causing any issues, so I'm going to put a second cloth over that, non-slip cloth, and bring up the bowl, bring up my tailstock. I still have that center hole there for reference, so I can just drive my live center into that, apply a little pressure, bring up my tool rest. We'll spin the piece up, see if it's running true. Right on the money. Turn the speed up to about 600 RPM. I'm going to use a 3/8 inch bowl gouge and commence to removing that tenon. We'll stop and check for clearance. We have clearance, and I'm just going to try and make it a little smaller. Also, I forgot, I want to look at that and make sure there's no cracks in the little tiny nub that's remaining, because I don't want it to break away when I least expect it. Now I'm going to adjust my tool rest even a little bit higher and closer, and I'm going to switch to a swept back bowl gouge, 3/8 inch swept back, so that I can get in there closer and tighter. And I'm going to turn the speed down to about 400 RPM. Now I'm going to turn the speed down to about 200 RPM, and I'm going to apply the bevel of the gouge against the bottom of the bowl. Pressure towards the headstock. Right hand on the gouge, left hand on the switch, and when the little nub stops turning, we'll know we're through. Like that. Now I'll just take this over here to the workbench, sand that up, sign it, get it finished, and I'll be right back. Be sure you stick around at the end of the video so you can see the before and after shots of this piece. If you'd share the video, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, here it is. One unknown bowl in the books. I'm going to call it live edge because there's still bark around the edge and on both sides. I just don't know what it is. If it's from Valerie, I'm sure she'll chime in here and tell us what it is. I thought maybe juniper. I'm not so sure about that. So I didn't put the kind of wood on the bottom, and I did not put a finish on there yet either. I'm waiting to find out what it is, and then I'll put it on there. So if you know what it is, let me know. If it didn't come from Valerie, whoever did send it to me, let me know. Anyway, it was a lot of fun to turn. At least the inside was fun. The outside was fun too. It's just that it was full of sand and grit and nastiness that caused me to sharpen a lot. I really like that spot there. You probably can't see my shirt through there. I really think the sides are about the right thickness anyway, even if I didn't have to deal with that. It's a lot to see, no point in turning it away. That's a pretty cool part there. Feels really good. It's very smooth, very tactile. Lots to run your fingers over. Nice coloring in there. Then you've got the heartwood on the bottom and sides. Yeah, it's a nice bowl. I like it quite a bit. I hope you do. Let me know what you think. Thank you, Valerie, I think, for sending this along for all to enjoy. If you like this video, thumbs up please, I'd sure appreciate it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very kindly. I truly appreciate that. If you're not a subscriber, you might consider becoming one. I put out regular videos about 1 a week, and I'd like to keep in touch. I'm sincerely grateful for your time today spent with me. It means a lot to me. I'm really looking forward to your comments. So for now, this is Phil, Shady Acres Woodshop, signing off.